business has made over 2.5 million in sales, and I've done all of this working less than 4 hours a week. Some might say it's a scam, some might say I'm a robot, some might say it's impossible, maybe I'm lying, but generally I've figured this out, and it's taken me 10 years to do it. And if I dial the clock back to when I first started, I was hustling, I was grinding. I was getting up at 5 in the morning, work blocks, working a 9 to 5, coming back, blocking off more work blocks, working until 11, 12, sometimes 1 a.m. at midnight, getting a little bit of sleep, and then going back and doing the same thing over and over and over again. And this almost caused me to burn out. And actually, it didn't really move me forward. So I repositioned things. I took a bit of a step out and thought, is there another way to approach this? And what I've come up with, and I'm going to teach you in this video, is a practical guide for you and how to take daily violent action towards your goals, where you're able to juggle multiple tasks, multiple responsibilities, and still 10x your output, but you do so without burning out. Now, the concept I want to get into is mostly about time management. Now, believe it or not, I don't actually think we can manage time. Actually, I know we can't manage time. Time has been rolling for billions, trillions of years before us, and it will continue to roll to infinity after us. So we don't control it. We don't control the movement of the sun or the stars. So what do we control? 2 things. And these are your 2 variables. You are able as a human being to manage your attention and your energy. And I'm going to relate everything back to natural law and bring it all back to basic fundamentals so we understand what actually is within our control, what's within our sphere of influence. And knowing this is empowering knowledge, because it enables you to do multiple tasks, to 10x your output, so that everything and everyone around you, your friends, your family members, your kids, look at you and they say the same thing as others say to me. You're not normal, you're superhuman, you're a robot, because you're able to do so much more in exactly the same daylight hours as someone working 24 hours. You're able to do it because you understand where your attention goes, energy flows, and results show. And this is the natural law. This is the master algorithm that I want to teach you. And it comes down really to understanding, how do you place your attention? And for me, I manage my attention, or I think of my attention in terms of irreversible blocks they start. Say I have 20 attention units every day, and I only have those 20 attention units. And once they're spent, just think of them as a bit of a currency, and reframing and thinking of time as a currency is a good reframe on this. But once they're gone, they're gone. So what it comes down to really is, how do you allocate your attention? And we live in the attention economy. Everything is constantly pulling us in different directions. If you are starting a business and you're still working a full-time job, you have to please your boss, you have to show up on time, you have family responsibilities, you're getting up early, you're working weekends and evenings to double down on your business, but you just don't know what to work on. So you're in this work for work's sake trap, where you feel like you're burning the candle at both ends, but you're not actually making any tangible or real progress. And this is frustrating, and this is a reason why a lot of people, especially in those early stages, they quit. And what I want to teach you in this video is how to take a step back from this and understand how you allocate these attention units will dictate the output you get on the other side. Now, so the easy way to do this is to map out your day, a full 24-hour clock. And I want you to record for the next week, every single day, from your waking hours to your sleeping hours, hour by hour. What are you doing specifically? What time are you getting up? What are you having for breakfast? What are you wearing? Do you have a commute? When you're working, what are you working on specifically? But get granular with it, task by task. What time do you finish? What time do you have lunch? What time do you have dinner? What time do you switch off? When you switch off, what do you do? How are you allocating that time? Are you playing the PlayStation? Are you watching Netflix? When are you training? Because getting and doing a bit of an audit here will help you see from a macro perspective as to how are you actually allocating your attention unit at the moment. And then once we have this data, this is what will allow us to see from a bird's eye view, okay, what's actually moving us forward. Because we do want to try and find a balance. And don't get me wrong, when you're starting out, or even if you're running a business at the minute and it's your full-time thing, you do want to have some form of work-life balance, but you do also have to counter that with the fact that in the beginning you have to work hard, or you must work hard, or hard enough to not have to work hard. So there is that big push at the beginning to overcome inertia. So let's factor that in as well. But really, once we get this bird's eye view, we can get an objective measure of how are we actually structuring our days at the moment. Now, the principle I use here is, once I have this data, is understanding of these work blocks or of these attention units that I have, where's my peak energy? Where am I able to really lock in and focus on something without any distractions? Because really what moves the needle for me, if I have my 4-hour work blocks every day and that's all I have, and thinking it as if someone has a gun to your head and you only have 4 hours to do everything you need to do, what would need to be the case for that to happen? What would you need to move around? How would you set up your environment? And when you are working, the most important thing is not work for work, because that work for work trap, it's insidious, and days will blend into weeks and weeks will blend into months and years, and you will make no progress and you'll wonder why, or you'll think the system is broken, you blame your product, you'll basically externalize. Whereas if we understand what we work on is infinitely important than how long we work on it. And the way I approach this is I separate each task that I do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis into a high and a low income generating task. This is then counterbalanced against my energy levels, because I understand that if I'm groggy, if I'm sleepy, if I'm tired, if I'm not focused and switched on, if I'm working on these high income generating tasks and my attention is split, or I'm not attacking this with the right energy, then these high income generating tasks are going to be substandard. They're not going to be good enough. And the same goes for my lower income generating tasks. Am I allocating my high energy times or peaks throughout the day to these low energy tasks because it feels like work? If you're coming from a 9-to-5 background, or you're still in a 9-to-5, you are not generally rewarded for productivity because you are paid a salary, and that salary generally is by a start time and an end time. Unless you're on a commission basis, largely you can spend, as long as you're looking busy, as long as you're shuffling papers and it looks like you're doing things, or you're picking up the phone, or you're writing things down, or you're walking around the office, if you look busy, this can pass with the boss because it looks like you're being productive. Where in reality, if you break down and again do a self-audit of how have you actually allocated your time when you come into work. Have you come in and you've been chatting to your colleague for a bit, you've gone to the cafe, or you've gone to make a coffee, there's another 20 minutes. You have a call to do, you've been prepping for the call to 20 minutes and not doing the call. Then you have a lunch hour. Then you have meetings, and what are you doing in these meetings? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the problem? Are you getting directly to the point and then back to work? Or are you stretching this out because you're paid by the hour? You see, the reason I'm bringing this up is when you are in the entrepreneurial mindset, you have no structure for your time. Your results, if you like, are directly tied to your inputs, which means that you have no structure. You do not have anyone telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, what good looks like, patting you in the back saying, well done. You don't have that. It's up to you to take accountability for this. And this, if we bring this back to the task of auditing how you're spending your time at the moment, this becomes very important because you can actually see for an objective measure, what are you actually doing? And then you can tie that directly to your results. Now, if we're talking about how we disperse this attention, this is like the most important thing. For me, it's about planning, routine. Routine equals results. That's it. That's another master algorithm. And what you need to do is align your energy with the right work block. So let me use the example of my own routine. Now, I understand my energy levels because I've been in business long enough. I've been without the structure of having a boss for a long time, and I've done the self-audit. I understand that in the morning, particularly for those first 2 hours, this is where my creativity comes in. I understand that after lunch, for a couple of hours, I then have a second work block. But this is all governed around my waking time, my high energy time, what time I eat and what I eat, and what time I lock in and do the work. And then the second part of that is understanding, okay, I understand that I only need to be spending these high income generating hours, of which I only allocate myself 4 to high income generating tasks, which means I need to understand, okay, out of all of the 1,000,001 things I need to do today, what is the 1, 2, or maximum 3 things that if I get done that day will move the needle, and it will stack and it will compound. This is the key, because if you are just focused on the same mindset as an employee, shuffling papers, looking busy, doing admin, making a spreadsheet for your reporting or your accounts, looking good, looking pretty, making sure everything works, no one cares. Remember, you're paid for the output in business. You're not rewarded for effort. It would be nice if you were, but you're not. So let me just walk you through my day. So pretty much every day I do the same thing. I wear the same thing. I eat at the same time. I sleep at the same time. I train at the same time every single day. And I plan tomorrow today, so I already know ahead of time what does my routine look like, what does my schedule look like, when I'm working, what do I need to be working on. So let's just run through it. So generally 7:45 alarm goes off. I have my supplements, I have my protein shake, I walk for half an hour to 45 minutes, I have my affirmations in, I'm priming myself, I'm outside, I'm getting sunlight. Okay, I'm listening to my affirmations in my own voice. This is how I start the day. I don't wake up, I don't scroll. I don't get up and go straight to work. It works for some, it doesn't work for me. Then 9 till 11, I have my deep work block. And this deep work block, remember, is focused on what are my high income generating tasks, what needs to be done in this creative zone that's boxed off. Now my environment is set up in such a way where I don't have any distractions. No phone, no TV, no PlayStation, no pings and tings, no notifications, nothing. It's just blocked off time. And it's blocked off time that coincides perfectly with my high energy levels. After that, then I'll have breakfast. Okay, breakfast, it's very high protein. You see, the same with my, when I wake up, protein shake. Then I have 6 to 8 eggs. Then I do reactive work. Actually, after my eggs, I allow myself 5 to 10 minutes of scrolling cat videos, ancient aliens, whatever. That's my time. Then I'm back to reactive work for another hour. This reactive work is admin related. This is the stuff that most people spend most of their time doing, replying to messages, going into emails, because it's fun, it's engaging, you know what I mean? You actually get to communicate a little bit. But really, most of this stuff doesn't move the needle. Then I'll walk for another hour. I'm outside, I'm in the sun, I'm listening to a book, I'm listening to a podcast, I'm learning, I'm leveraging my time. Again, I'm outside, I'm getting sunlight, my blood flow's running, and also I am able to not have to think about working, and I'm digesting. So my energy is not in my head, it's in my stomach. So by the time that walk is done, I'm primed to get back into that second deep work block for 2 hours. So from 1 till 3, deep work block, number 2. And that's my 4 hours spent. After this, I'll have my first coffee of the day. This is my point of diminishing returns, which means that I now have another at least 2 hours of alert work where I will then take calls. So I'll schedule calls, I'll speak to people, I'll get back to admin. Okay, this is the same thing. From generally 5:30 till 7:30, 8, I'll train. Same thing. Training for me at the end of the day is my nervous system regulation. This is where I'm able to have any pent-up frustrations or energy from the day and channel it into something productive. I'm putting my body to work. And you'll see this is a common theme throughout my day as well. I'm walking in the morning, walking in the afternoon, leveraging at learning, listening. Same for the gym. I'm listening, I'm learning, I'm moving. It's a good dispersal. It's a good channel of energy, if you like. And then 8:30, chicken and rice, very boring, very plain. And then I switch off. That's it. Same thing every day. I wear the same thing. I eat the same things at the same time. I don't need to think, because remember, we're talking about attention and bandwidth, and we need to constrain this as much as possible. And as boring as it might seem, this is how you are able to actually look and operate like someone like Elon Musk, for example, because everything is planned and routinized. You don't have to think about it, which means all of your focused and creative attention is on the deep work blocks. And the deep work blocks, working on your high income generating tasks, these are the needle moving activities. And when you're undistracted, when you're solely focused and you understand what you need to do, this is when you are able to 10x results. This is how you are able to kind of take on that robotic view, if you like. This is how you're able to step into that role of someone who is a superhuman. And I'm nothing special. I'm the same as you. I don't come from a privileged background. Grew up northeast of England, literally pretty much on the streets, almost in poverty. But I taught myself this, I've been through this, I've tried multiple different things, and this is just what works for me. For you, it might be different. You might have a different routine, you might have kids, you might be balancing a full-time job. But again, it's just understanding what are you optimizing for, understanding, doing a self-audit, and then taking action on that every single day. It always starts with a bit of self-reflection, and then it's about you taking daily violent action towards that goals. And the principles really of what I'm saying here is routine equals results. I control my diet. It's very high protein, very low carb. Again, you can see it works. In good shape. I take care of myself. I'm outside. I get sunlight. I sleep at least 8 hours every day. And these are the superchargers, if you like, of training, of sleeping, of eating well, because this is what gives me that additional energy that helps me double down on working on those high income generating tasks. These are the routines, the non-negotiables, the hygiene standards for me that I do every single day that allows me to supercharge it. My decisions are better, my action taken is better, my focus is better, my energy is better, because I get these basic fundamentals locked in every single day, and there's no compromise on these whatsoever. Even wearing the same thing, you see on my videos, I always wear the same thing. I've either got a white tank top or a black shirt, that's it. When I shop for clothes, I buy 4 or 5 of the same thing in different colors. I don't want to have to think about it. I want all of my bandwidth going on work, on high income generating tasks. That's the principle, okay? The other side of it is just remembering the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Life is a bit of a mirror. So just being aware that if you are going to be scattered in certain areas, then your business is probably going to be scattered. If your attention's all over, then this is going to show in your output. If you don't take care of yourself, this is going to show in your output. It's going to show in your relationships, in your business, because a coach told me you don't have business problems, you have personal problems that reflect as business problems. And again, getting into this self-audit and understanding what are we optimizing for, reverse manufacturing, how are we getting there. It's all about self-accountability and to stop externalizing and to start taking accountability, because remember, we're entrepreneurs. If we're starting a business, we're running a business, we don't have a boss, we don't have a structure, we don't have clear start and end times. It's up to you to set those parameters around what works for you and what's best for your business. And then it is generally about consistency over time. This is the message I preach, okay? Protect your energy, protect your attention at all costs, because literally nothing else matters. Remember, routine equals results, but it has to be right for you. So start with an audit, start taking action on this, and then comment. If this works for you, let me know. And one other thing to add, if you're ever stuck on what to work on, because you don't have a structure, because you don't have a boss, of course, having a mentor is always going to help. But the basic proxy I use for this is whatever hinders your task becomes your task. Whatever's stopping you moving forward, this is where you need to place your attention. This is how I built my brand over years, is just tackling one problem sequentially after another. Stuck on something, have a bottleneck here, this is stopping me moving forward, I have this issue, then all of my attention's on solving that issue. Once you solve that issue, more issues will pop up. It's like playing whack-a-mole. But this is good because ideally the problems that you're having or you're optimizing for, they're better quality problems. So for example, instead of you being stuck on where's my next sale coming from, your new improved problems are, I have too many sales, I need to sort my supply chain out. And this is how it stacks, this is how you grow, but you grow through the process. The problem is no one teaches this ever. Nothing ever about this at school. It has to be self-education, and you auditing yourself, asking the right questions, and then taking the right deliberate action. This is what's going to get you to where I am. For me, it took me 10 years. You have all this information in this 10 or 15 minute video. So really, it's just about going away and taking action. And this is it. This is where I'm going to leave you. Go take action. If you're stuck, if you're struggling, if you don't know what you're doing, you have no excuse. Remember, what hinders your task becomes your task. Focus and protect your attention at all costs. Cool. Hope this is useful. Probably see you in the next video.